definitely not okay. This undermines all police and makes it impossible for all police to do their jobs because all police are engaged in protecting police officers who harm us. We've made it impossible for disabled people to defend themselves. And nobody makes any effort whatsoever towards defending us. This is not okay. Alycia Bollinger wanted me to change my phone number over to a different phone, a phone that she had that used to be Natalie's. That was a birthday present while I was supposedly stalking my friends in Virginia. Getting people to look at evidence instead of just believe what's typed. Yeah, there are ways of proving that it's a goddamn lie. Like, well, first of all, evidence. There's a lot of things that you don't say to somebody who's stalking you. You don't invite them to go do things with you. You don't tell them that you love them. These are not things that you do when somebody is stalking you. You don't tell people things like, oh, I insist on going and doing something. It's your birthday. Now, the problem is that I was a homeless man. And it's not okay to be friends with a homeless man. Being friends with a homeless person is the most shameful thing you can do. Really? What about having a mom who's an alcoholic and a dad who's a drug addict who beats you and rapes you? Yeah, that's a lot more shameful, isn't it? Yet these people decided to destroy my life, thinking I was going to say nothing and do nothing. No, you do not get to destroy someone's life just because you didn't get what you wanted. You don't get to do stuff like that and expect people to shut up about it. The only saving grace that any of these predators had is that I'm homeless. So without a friend or family member, nobody cares. None of these agencies that we're sent to that are supposedly supposed to help us are going to help us, and it's you call with us. She insisted that I change over my number from my flip phone over to this other telephone. She insisted that she was going to pay for it. Then she insisted that she put it in her name. That way she'll pay for the bill. And then she quit her job like 10 minutes later. It took over 2 hours to get it done, and she was frustrated and pissed off. Natalie Bollinger misled and outright lied through her entire last public post. She was pissed off because after over a year of me taking hell, I was threatening to take her to fucking court. And her friend Tim Beeston. And Maddie Boa. And Alycia Bollinger. They went and slandered my fucking name. So I had no friends or family members anymore that I could go to, that I could even go see without being harmed. For over a year before that dumb got her fucking brains blown out. I had begged people to kill me for over a year because of that stupid fucking cunt and her goddamn cruelty. Just because she didn't want to be held accountable for her own actions. And nobody cared about the fucking truth. Nobody cared about my side. Nobody allowed me the opportunity to even fucking tell my side. Not one goddamn person cared. And so for a whole fucking year, a whole bunch of people pretended to care while they fucking profited off of it. That's not fucking help. If I had a friend or family member who gave a fuck, this never would have fucking gotten out of control to begin with. But all anybody wanted to do was tell me what to do. When it came to the cops, everybody said, don't go talk to the cops. Well, I fucking needed somebody to. I'm treated like magically because I have a dick. I should be able to magic my way through a bunch of shit that's fucking impossible. Just because I have a dick doesn't mean that I'm fucking capable. Everybody who works for the government sticks up for everybody else who works for the government. All those people who get free fucking perks because they work for the government. Everybody thinks, oh, well, them poor pokes, they got government jobs. No, they got government jobs. They get good paychecks. And they don't have to spend their money to fuck up your life. All they have to do is lie. And nobody gives a fuck about the goddamn evidence. Not one goddamn person through any of this. The biggest problem with my public pretender dude is that he's more interested in spending his money than fucking earning it. He's fucking trash. The guy who helped me today helped me set up a GoFundMe. We're trying to figure out how to set something up so I can actually get paid. That's something I've needed help with from the very start. It's help to do that, actual help to do that. But instead, people just wanted me to give them money for them to tell me to do it myself. How humane is that? This fella today actually sat down with me and helped me set up a GoFundMe. And we put it on a card. The card can only have up to $500 on it. The card isn't connected yet. So since there's no way to receive any money on it, we're still working on that. But at least we're actually working on it. Instead of them, they're going to help me for 6 goddamn months and tell me they're always busy. When you say one step at a time, well, we have to start taking those fucking steps first. Just talking about, oh, well, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Well, do we have a bush or any birds? No, we don't. We ain't got shit. Do we have a purpose to go looking for bushes or birds? No. We do have plenty of incentive to look at evidence. Because this won't just change things for me, this will change things for all of us. Police need to be held accountable, and so do women. So do judges, and so do lazy public pretenders. I wouldn't have been able to get done what I got done today without the help of someone else. Took him about 2 hours too, and I just couldn't shut myself up. I info dump. Although, like with most people, I posed the question, what would you do if this happened to your sister? And when he answered, I said, well, that's not what I want you doing for me. Their answers are predictable. People's answers are nearly always violent unless they believe that the position that they live under is different. Like a preacher is more likely to say, give it to God, than start talking about shooting people, or at least putting them severely in the goddamn hospital. And that's where most people's minds go when a woman pretends like she might be harmed. And the younger and prettier she is, the more they care. Alycia Bollinger looks a lot like Natalie. There's 7 years worth of the situation with them recorded on my channel. There's also 7 years of abuse on my channel for me trying to speak out because I can't get anyone in real life to listen. I can't get anyone in real life to take it as seriously as it needs to be taken. All the sandwiches in the world don't change the fact that I constantly have to be afraid every moment of every day of more harassment, more threats, not just against me, but also my friends and family. And all of you ignore that. You forced me to take literally years of abuse for caring about my friends and family. For you, you're allowed. For me, I'm not. Then again, my friends and family, were they really threatened? Or were they just manipulating me? Were they trying to get me to commit suicide? Or were their lives really threatened? A lot of people like to play friendly till the day they realize they're on the internet. Their face is up, along with text messages between us, or messages on Facebook between us, verifying that I told the truth. With their names all over it, their phone numbers all over it, their Facebook profiles all over it. And then, of course, after the fact, a lot of them do something that's highly illegal, destroying evidence. Of course, when the victim is smart enough to actually take the screenshots of it, that's able to prove it, well, and everything that I fucking bust my ass for comes down to people taking advantage of me because they want to make a fucking profit for the day and go home and fucking do some goddamn drugs. That doesn't help me. Going to therapy over and over and over again to try to turn in crimes that were committed against me because cops want to send me to therapy. No, that's the mentally ill treatment and it's illegal as fuck. If you're going to send me to therapy, you have to do your job to investigate the goddamn crime you committed. You commie fuck. Right? Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? I grew up in the 80s. That's what we're supposed to say to everybody. We're supposed to blame everything on communists. Meanwhile, I grew up in the system in the 1980s. Pure capitalism, not communism. Is Russia being run by a bunch of rich pedophiles? Probably. Is the United States? Yes. Absolutely, positively. Being forced to go to police departments that I was trying to turn in only resulted in them abusing their power over and over and over again. And lucky for me, they didn't try very hard to cover their tracks because all these people who claimed that they cared, none of them showed that they fucking did. Because not a single fucking one of them made a single goddamn effort to turn in what they knew or to go in with me for my fucking safety. So you have to be there so that the victim is not talked over and manipulated and abused. When they try to turn it in, they're going to try to talk over the victim and refuse to listen to anything the victim has to say. They try to pawn the victim off on someone else, like mental health, 988 or 211. Meanwhile, the way they treat me when I call is disrespectful and inhumane. They just send you around in circles, and that's not fucking okay. When I'm abused, it is someone's job to fucking do something about it. Matter of fact, it's a lot of people's jobs to do something about it. They're called mandated reporters, and they're not going to do their jobs unless a friend or family goes in with me. Otherwise, they're just going to call me mentally ill and ignore the situation. My life is at risk from the police and the local population because the courts won't do their jobs for a retard. That's how the courts view me. That's how they treat me. A mentally ill retard. I have less rights than a retard. They won't give me the rights of a retard because I'm intelligent, and they won't give me the rights of an intelligent person because I'm a retard. That kind of makes things difficult, don't you think? Back in October 2016, Alycia Bollinger wanted to force me to take a busted phone for my birthday. Now, you want to go, oh, now you're just being ungrateful. No, you listen to the consequences of the goddamn phone. All right? The phone that I was given was fucking busted to all hell. It didn't work. I got sick and tired of the thing telling everybody ducking. I was going through hell. I was stranded. I was broke. I was running out of gas. Natalie Bollinger was still suicidal. Her family was still driving her fucking crazy. Meanwhile, I was going through the same shit. Like everybody's always got their fucking opinions about what I should be doing. But they've got absolutely no ears to listen to what's going on. They just want to tell me what to do, because that's what you do with retards. You tell them what to do. You tell retarded people what to do. You don't care if they can do it or not. You don't care how scared they are or how much they will be abused if they go in. You're not going to be breeding with that retard, so they don't matter. The retard isn't your kid, so it doesn't matter, and that's how you treat it. People with Down syndrome are lucky they have visual markers, and people look at you doing fucked up shit to them, and they go, hey, that's not fucking okay. Someone with cerebral palsy will have audio and possibly even visual markers, like slurring of speech or atrophying, depending on the level. Multiple sclerosis can fucking suck. But just because somebody starts having problems with their speech doesn't mean that they're retarded. Somebody who's autistic, you don't get those visual markers. And you may not get those oral markers until you've talked over them and over them and over them, and they have to talk 400 miles a minute to try to get in what they were trying to say because you're not fucking hearing it. Let me finish what I'm saying, for Christ's sake. That's what I ask of everyone. Can we talk one-on-one? Is that fucking impossible? Are we capable of talking one-on-one? If the answer is no, that's entirely on you. If you treat me with respect, I treat you with respect. But the thing is, the 988 suicide hotline, 211, local law enforcement all across the United States are no fucking good. They don't care about us. They bully us, and that's not fucking okay. Trying to push us onto somebody else as a mandated reporter is not okay. Nicole Peralta and Tamara were supposed to help me. Once I was in assisted living, there was supposed to be somebody to help me with the needs that I had. But no, Nicole Peralta never did any of that paperwork like she was supposed to. Tamara had to do all the paperwork, and she quit her job because of how complicated it was, just like Alycia Bollinger had quit her job right after having to deal with trying to transfer my phone from like Straight Talk or Net 10 or something over to Cricket, which is where she works. When I had issues with that phone, Natalie Bollinger and Alycia Bollinger both said they understand the texting is taken wrong all the time. So if there was something that either one of them didn't understand in typing or I didn't understand in typing, that we would call, but nobody called. Instead, I got bullied over and over and over again until I want my life to end. And nobody cares. They say, oh, it's your fault for putting yourself out there. It's your fault for speaking up publicly. No, it's not. This is the only thing that people actually helped me with after Natalie was killed. Nobody helped me to make a GoFundMe. They did it, quote unquote, for me. So then that's used as an excuse to harm me by a lot of people. Nobody cares about the fact that they're fucking twisting it and it wasn't. The thing is, a lot of people are fucking dead because nobody wanted to listen. And no other reason than that. After Tibor Hite was killed at Clearview Behavioral Health, they should have closed that fucking place down then instead of allowing them to continue their injustice against the American people. Police officers will seek out a place that will rubber stamp a motherfucker. That means they don't care about the legal process. They're just going to do what it's kind of like a judge who will sign any fucking warrant. In Dual County, the Dual County Sheriff was allowed to lie in order to get a warrant to steal evidence of his wrongdoing. He was also able to have me harmed and arrested for trying to turn him in. He was also allowed to come and assault me and intimidate me for trying to turn him in, and to arrest me for trying to turn him in. I'm not just telling stories here. I've been showing evidence on this goddamn channel since I fucking started it. But none of you fucking care. Y'all don't understand that once somebody is called mentally ill, they have to have a friend or family member who gives a shit. Yes, you do have to believe them. If I have to sit down and show you all of the evidence for you to believe me, I'm fine with that, but you have to spend the time to do it. You have to make the time and then spend that time. And the sooner the better before it gets buried under more recordings for my fucking safety. I understand the Scudder family doesn't have a great reputation, and I understand why. but I'm not going to hate them. It also sucks that there's so many witnesses to crimes that happened to me that just twiddled their fucking thumbs about it. I take a shit ton of fucking abuse. Nobody should have to go through this. It's inappropriate to force a person to do it through Facebook and through YouTube. It puts the victim at risk, or victims at risk. It results in innocent people being harmed over and over and over again until they have a mental breakdown, and then they're punished for having a mental breakdown. Before you go and talk to any of these places with a victim, you have to be aware of the situation. That means listening to the victim, not continuing to punch out a bunch of, you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do this. No, they've already tried that alone with nobody. Maybe you should listen to what's going on so that you're aware of how they will be treated if they do it alone. There's also the fact that they can't go back to a place that has harmed them. They can't go back. They will be harmed again. So hopefully I'll get something out of the GoFundMe, but probably not. When I had an actual bank account, that's the thing, is that nobody bothers to ask, why were these things taken? Why was Sean not allowed the rights of another human being? Why was he denied all of those resources? You deny me those resources because I'm fucking different. Because my name was fucking slandered. Because you think it's okay to harm a person. All I needed was a safe place with my own goddamn actual physical address. Once I had those things, I still needed help stopping the abuse. That shit separated me from all of my friends and family. I couldn't even go tell my friends and family what was going on. Because they don't care about anyone who's not there in person. Because they can't mooch off of people who aren't there in person. They only remembered me when they wanted money. You tell me, oh, well, don't do that, don't do that. Well, are you fucking helping me to do it? No, you're not. You're telling me pretty fucking words and pretty goddamn memes. Please help me to get assisted suicide legal.